this video I'm going to show you how to update the SRM Emulator Pro. There are two parts to this. We can update the emulator, which is in here, and we can also update the add-on board if necessary, which is here. To update the add-on board, we need access to this USB plug here, so you have to remove your wheel. And it's literally as simple as taking a USB-C coiled in my case, cable, plugging it into the base there, and then that will open in the flashing software, and you can flash accordingly. To finish, just carefully remove the USB plug and we're away. To get to the emulator inside here, to flash the core emulator, you either have to remove this PCB and very carefully insert a USB cable into the inside, but the easiest way is to remove this part. To do that, we need a T10 Torx driver, and we need to remove these 4 bolts, being careful not to damage the pins. Just undo the bolts. They're not particularly tight. I'm going to use an electric driver just to speed things up. So undo all 4. And then that will come away. You'll see with the Pro that there is the cable that connects the two together. Is there. You can either leave that on or you can remove it just by squeezing and pulling. And then we can put that aside. And then just like all the other emulators, take our USB cable, insert in. It will connect to the PC. You can then flash. So now we've got our emulator connected to USB, and we're running the SRM flashing tool. We can see the 3 different sorts of boards that we can flash. At the moment we're just doing the Emulator V7. Click on there and you'll see the initial firmware 1.1 is on the board, and we've got the option at the moment of flashing to 1.3. You can drop down the list in case there are more options. Click on flash and you will then get a confirmation dialog box, which you click on OK. Now what it's doing is it's uploading the software, the new firmware, to the emulator. This shows the progress bar. It doesn't take long, but that is just uploading. The next stage after this is it's going to install the software onto the emulator. Now this can take up to 2 minutes, but you'll see the bar moving, so you just wait till it's done. I'll just keep quiet while that gets going. Once it's completed, the board will reboot and you should see the correct firmware appear up above. There it is, 1.3. If I disconnect and then reconnect to the board, again, you can just check to make sure that it's okay. If you see something like this, then it might be necessary to disconnect the board first and then reconnect it. And reconnect it here. Sometimes it likes the USB to be refreshed. But there we go. You've now updated the firmware on your Emulator V7. It's exactly the same process on the add-on board, and the conversion kit, if you're looking at that, is similar, but the same buttons to push. Thank you. Afterwards, just remove the cable carefully again. Bring back your emulator part, reattach the red cable like so, push the cable into the part out of the way. There's the top, line it up, do these up just a little bit on each one to hold it in place, and make sure it's all lined up before you tighten them, so they're all in a little bit. Again, I use my electric driver and tighten each one. They don't have to be particularly tight, just until it stops moving. This part is plastic, so it will damage if you over tighten, and again, be very careful not to damage your pins. And there we go, we're all done.